What's going on, people, and welcome to Man Knows Football. You are here with Kenny Ken and Big Nate. We're going to do a preview for Crystal Palace versus Arsenal. Another London derby, but a very special one. In fact, no, is Palace playing at Arsenal, innit? Playing at
man.
Emirates. Yeah, so it's Arsenal versus Crystal Palace. Sorry, Arsenal will be the home team. A very special occasion, a returning legend to the club, but he will be managing Crystal Palace in Patrick Vieira. I'm not going to say too much aside from like, share, subscribe, leave your thoughts down there in the comments. And Kenny Ken and Nate's details are down there in the descriptions. Clickable links as well. Show the guys some love. But guys, how are you feeling about tomorrow?
Go on, I'll let you want to take this one, Ken?
You know what it is? I think what it is that, it's a good thing that Arsenal were playing, teams like Burnley, Norwich before that, and play Spurs that, they had a bit of turmoil because Spurs started the season very confidently and then they got beaten by Palace, albeit losing, going on a man down. But I think they lost a lot of confidence when you beat them in the London derby, because I think it was one of those things where they reckon they got a good team, but you guys just beat them so easy, and it's the way every goal you scored demoralised them. You know what I mean? Especially like Kante's second goal. So we kind of knew that if we went to Spurs really hard, that we'll get a bit of joy. Then Brighton got us, brought us back down to earth. But I think with Arsenal at the moment, there's still, a few pieces of the jigsaw that that I have concerns about, especially in attack. You would have thought that, attack with Pepe, Saka, Aubameyang, even Smith Rowe at the moment, and Odegaard, you think, what is he worried about? But you take away the Spurs game, he still only scored 2 goals this season.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a big concern. Us, our inability to break teams down consistently and play at a fast tempo. That's what's going to hurt. That's going to hurt us. And Palace, you know what they're going to happen. They're going to make themselves difficult to beat and hit us on the break.
Counter-attack, Zaha. Yep.
Yeah.
We've seen that plenty of times, man.
Yeah.
And it's always a tough game with them when we play them at home as well, man. Like,
definitely.
Yeah.
We seem to play. We seem to play better when we play them away from home, to be honest. Because the onus is meant to be on the front foot.
I agree. You know what, though? You know what would be interesting tomorrow? I look back at the Brighton game, right? And again, of course, I still got my concerns about the team, like you just said. But from where we started, obviously with the first 3 games of the season losing, and then after the last international breaks, was it 3-1 and a draw? That draw against Brighton, I feel like that's a game we would have lost last season.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we would have lost that. We was under the cosh, we would have lost. So I'm just hoping that that's a sign of that little bit of change. So tomorrow, in a game where Palace have normally given us problems there, hopefully we're going tomorrow and it is completely different and we fucking get a fast start, just like we did at Tottenham, and put them to bed early, man. Because, like you said, they'll go on that counter-attack and it could be all sorts of problems, man. All sorts.
It's just midfield, though. The thing is kind of midfield, because I think what's happened is that for some reason, because of the way Arteta's got us playing, it's like Jack is like a mainstay at midfield, but everyone knows that, Partey plays his best football when he has like pace and athleticism alongside him. And I think this is a season where I think, we probably should be, when we have, let's face it, apart from like the games in which...
Yeah, you cracked up there for a bit, man. But
I'll go back to a point. What I'm saying is that in terms of like Partey, he's the main man for us, for me. Because if he plays well and we can get him playing his best football, I think we could do okay this season. But it's just getting a proper partner for him.
You know what? Lukonga's looked all right though, man. I've liked the look of Sambi, man. He's looked tidy. He's looked assured. Like, I just think you need to get him a run of games next to Partey now, and he can only learn from him. I think obviously Maitland-Niles, he'll come in as well during certain games. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts tomorrow, just off the back of, London derby. He knows what it's about. He's played them before. And obviously he's been crying out for years, I want to play centre midfield. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him starting there tomorrow.
Well, he started against Norwich, didn't he? He started against Norwich. And for me, I think he did okay. But he did. Right. But I think when we were looking for that goal to give us a bit of confidence, that's when he got replaced.
I think the bigger picture is we're crying out for another centre mid, even when Xhaka is there, because And we've spoke about that many times before, man. You know what I mean? He's hit and miss. When he's good, he's good. When he's not, he's Zaka. But I just think the bigger picture is we do need to be looking at another centre mid, whether it be January, whether it be in the summer. I think another centre mid and a striker is absolutely imperative, man. 100%.
Lads, obviously.
Well,
Sorry, Ken. Obviously, you lot.
No, that's not that. It's not that. How you saying?
You've responded well recently to a difficult start of the season. Your form, your last 4 games, 3 out of 4 wins, 5 goals scored, and only 1 conceded. Granted, your last game against Brighton was a 0-0 draw. The positives that I would take from that, looking from outside the box, obviously I'm a Chelsea fan. It doesn't bother me,
Don't we know?
just-
We can tell by your shirt.
You get me? But it's one of those ones where I'm a big fan of clean sheets for obvious reasons. But it's what you needed, especially down to your defensive worries at the beginning of the season. But I think that's a good step going forward into the next run of fixtures that you have. So yeah. I'm expecting you guys to get the result against Palace as well as they have been playing. But Patrick Vieira, obviously an ex-legend of yours. I don't know if the two of you have been keeping an eye on Crystal Palace, but what do you think of the football that he's brought there so far? And could you potentially see him in the conversation as an Arsenal manager in the next 5-10 years or so? I'm not saying now. Notice how I didn't say now. Later on down the line.
Yeah, who knows, man? That's a bit of a 5. You just don't know, innit? Like, because he's been. You look, we done. When was he? He was in MLS, innit? When was it? Was it New York? Who was that?
NYCFC.
Yeah, New York City. I think Frank. He married Frank Lampard, didn't he? Frank
Lampard. He done all right there. He got. So was it sacked by Nice? Like, let's see, innit? I think naturally his name will get mentioned because obviously he is an ex-Arsenal player and he obviously manages. But yeah, that's a tough one for me to answer, man, because it all depends on where we're at. You know, when Arteta does go, whenever that may be, you know, it depends where we're at, man. Are we going to be in a position where we're challenging for titles and we're trying to bring in, you know what I mean, another top manager, or is it going to be when he goes, we're in the same shit that we're in that? Like, yeah, that's a tough one. That's tough.
You know, I think the thing is that initially, you know, when Arsene Wenger left the club, my initial thing was because things were so bad in the last few years after Arsene, you didn't want anyone associated with, you know, Arsene Wenger to sort of get the job, and you know, and that was one of the reasons when they were talking about Arteta. Went, no, I wanted something fresh, I wanted a new approach, and to a certain extent, I think the Arsenal club deep down actually wanted that sort of continuity in terms of an ex-player, because I failed to believe and, you know, struggle to understand why you gave Unai Emery the job in the first place, only for you, with, you know, not to want him, give him time to succeed. Because, you know, Nate, you know, in all the times I've been watching Arsenal, for the last over 40 years now, I've always seen Arsenal managers get time, some undeservedly. Like Terry Neal got time. He lost his job because we were trying to get Terry Neal.
That connection again.
Manager Arsenal never really wanted, so they were going to get Wenger the year a bit earlier. So sorry, stay still. They wanted to get Wenger the year earlier. So I just think that sometimes when it's Arsenal, if Arsenal do not really want a manager, that manager's not going to get time. And I think that they always wanted Arteta to get the job because of the good things that he's been said about him. And I think in terms of Patrick, it wouldn't surprise me the club go the same way. We did it with Terry Neal, ex-Arsenal player, George Graham, ex-Arsenal player as well. So inverting me was the club physio when he got the job in '66. So really and truly, Arsenal have always been two things. One, they like continuity of getting ex-players to manage the club, and most importantly, they give managers time. So I can't rule out Patrick Vieira getting a job. However, if you really want to, you know, move on from the Wenger era, you've got to get someone who's not connected to the football club.
Yep, absolutely. I agree.
I was gonna say, so speaking on Vieira and this Crystal Palace team, it seems like he's doing quite a decent job with the youngsters he's got in that squad. I say that from obviously he's taken 2 Chelsea Academy graduates from us. Mark
Gallagher.
Guehi and Gallagher, who is on fantastic form, and quite a few Crystal Palace fans say that he is actually one of their star boys of the season. So
Yeah,
fair play to Gallagher. And also they signed Edouard, what's his name from Celtic?
Yeah, I think Arsenal
Hudson Edouard, yeah. Yeah, they were after him, but it was something to do with agent fees and whatever. You know how it goes with all that stuff.
You know what it is? You know what it is, man knows football, Nate. I think what it is, you know, with Croydon and Roy, when he's in charge at Crystal Palace, he's like a safe pair of hands. Like, you always kind of knew that Croydon and Roy was going to keep him up, and that he was going to they were going to be about, the lowest they'll finish is about 15th.
Yeah,
like Crystal Palace, right? They were about, their average, the highest they'll finish under Croydon and Roy would be 12th or 11th. 12th. But you always knew, right, the Crystal Palace, on their day, because they had so much pace in that sort of side,
anyone problems.
They could give, like, they can go to Old Trafford and win. They can go Etihad and win. Any big team can go and win because of the way. Because on their day, when you've got players like, like IU, you've got players like
Eze and
Zaha
and them.
But you know, it was the pace that they had. Because like Chani Pulis, when he was manager of Crystal Palace, one of the things he said that when he went to West Brom was that I had so much pace to work with at Palace. And I think any manager with Palace, when you've got all this athleticism and pace, you can kind of get your points across. And I think with Paddy, now he's got better players as well. He's got youngsters come through. He can play better football.
Yep.
What do you need? What do you guys need to do to make sure you're going to get the 3 points on Monday, Nate? Tactically, what are you expecting to see from your squad?
Don't be naive to the counter-attack, man. I mean, listen, the last X amount of games, we have looked solid. I mean, I said to you before, I felt about Ramsdale, but fair play to him. He's coming. He's been solid. Gabriel White been solid.
Yeah.
So from a defensive standpoint, I'm not super worried. But yeah, we just stifle that counter-attack because they're not going to come there tomorrow night and just fucking throw everyone forward. We know what they do. We know what they do. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if Benteke starts tomorrow because he normally does that. Like,
what if we're passive, though? If we're passive, because I think under Mikel Arteta, I remember Danny Kelly saying that that was after the Chelsea game, that he made a really good point that we play like David Moyes' Everton, where they were very athletic, got off the ball, but in terms of like when they really played them decent opposition, they're very timid. I do see a lot. I still think Mikel Arteta. When you see Man City under Guardiola and Arteta, that they used to play flying football, but there was an odd game where they used to put men behind the ball and just you kind of got a result. Like they played Liverpool in the 18-19 season where they could have nicked it on a penalty, but they got a 0-0 draw. And I'm thinking, now I'm watching Arsenal play. That is where Mikel Arteta had a lot of influence in trying to get them to tighten up off the ball and make themselves difficult to beat in certain key games. And I think that's how we play under Mikel Arteta. Is that the real Mikel Arteta is basically a David Moyes type who worries more about the opposition than playing to our strengths. Although David Moyes at West Ham is playing to the strengths because he's got nothing to lose. But this is the real David Moyes is Mikel Arteta.
You know what? I just don't feel like that's right, though, man. Especially when you got those sort of players that we've got going forward, like for us, man. Of course, certain opposition you have to worry about them, but mate, we're playing Palace at home tomorrow, man. We should have enough where it's like, all right, fuck it, we're gonna go in there with what we've got and overpower them. You don't worry about what they've got, man. You can't be sitting there scared of the counter-attack, man. Go there tomorrow. You know what I mean? Get Pepe, Aubameyang, Smith, whoever.
Whoa, Nate, wait, hold on. What's your lineup?
I knew he was going to come to this.
What I want or what I think? Because obviously, back of an international break.
Let's go. Let's go with what you think realistically. How you're heading into the game, because that's what really matters.
Ramsdale, Tierney, my guy Tommy Asu, fucking love him, man. Gabriel, White, and then I reckon Partey, Maitland-Niles, I think, yeah. Odegaard, Pepe, Smith Rowe. Actually, no.
Come
No,
on,
I'll
mate.
put that. Yeah, no.
So,
Yeah,
like I said, you've got big square pegs around there, mate.
No, but I'm just saying. I'm just trying to think. I'm thinking what he actually. No. He won't start Pepe. Smith Rowe.
No, he won't.
Yeah, he won't. Smith Rowe, Saka, and Aubameyang. Yeah, that's what I think it'll be.
You know what? I think the team that he's going to start is going to be like, obviously, Ramsey in goal. He's made the position quite his own. And he shot me. But you know what? I like hungry players at Arsenal. Tommy Asu, he had a bit of torrid time against Brighton with Korikea. But, I think Saka was a contributor to that because he didn't give him protection. Facts. But I think it's going to be Tommy Asu. Kiritini needs to push. He's been very poor this season. I think Tavares, he's unlucky that he ain't getting games. But in midfield, the centre halves pick themselves: Ben White and Gabriel. Midfield is going to be that's a difficult one because Odegaard's going to play, and Partey's going to play. So who's going to play? So Lokonga is Arteta going to be like punish him for struggling because you look at him to Balogun. Balogun was the next big thing to come out of Arsenal. He struggled against Brentford. When was the last? When have we seen Balogun after that? Is he going to do the same for Lokonga?
That's poor man management. You don't do that to a youth player.
So I think what we're going to see like Balogun. We're going to see in the midfield. It's probably going to be. I think we'll see Maitland-Niles as opposed to Lokonga because
I think so.
He's going to tighten it up. So the front three is going to be, Odegaard, Smith Rowe, and Aubameyang. Hang on, I forgot about Saka, innit?
That's what I was just going to say. Yeah,
no, it's Saka. It's Saka, Smith Rowe, and Aubameyang. Because you know how you're talking about Pepe.
Yeah.
The conundrum we have. The biggest elephant in the room is that Pepe can't play on the right hand side because Saka's got that position. So if you want to play him at left, Smith Rowe's now playing there. So it's hard. Yeah. It's like you can't get Martinelli in the team.
No. Travesty.
And he can't get Pepe on the side because what he's done is he's pigeonholed those two players into positions where they can only play on the right and they can only play on the left. Martinelli can only play if Aubameyang don't play. And then poor Lacazette is not going to get games because he's not signing a new contract. So it's kind of been quite, like if you let him down once, that's it. All bets are off with this manager.
You know what? He's going to have to rotate it because we've got Villa on Friday.
That's You know what? We've got two competitive games where it could go either way. Either we start off, we get on the front foot and we play like Spurs and we take the game away from Crystal Palace and Aston Villa, or we become passive, and then what will happen is both Crystal Palace and Aston Villa. You know how Aston Villa beat us last season? They basically on the overlap down our right hand side, which was really weak last season, and they basically did it continuously. And Arteta couldn't get when we had Bellerin and Rob Holding.
Was that 3-0?
Like Rob Holding was the right centre half, and then Bellerin was the right back, and basically they were an embarrassment that day against Villa at home. And I think that this is where I think he's improved their kind of right hand side, but if he plays passively, then Villa got nothing to lose. Man, they should have smashed Wolves to pieces. How they lost to Wolves? You tell me, because someone explained to me how Aston Villa did not win that game yesterday.
No, I'm glad they did it, man. And it all goes back to Martinez for me, man. He talks too much. He talks too much.
He can't take it. You know
he
what?
Man.
He's a Shannon Courtenay of English football.
The who? Shannon Courtenay.
Yeah, you watch boxing, don't you?
Yeah. Because do you know what? Because your connection paused for a second. I didn't get it.
You know Shannon Courtenay. You know she thinks she's like a big deal because she looks good and she's the baby ace assassin. But every time she loses a fight, the judges, she couldn't even make weight. But it's a kind of Martinez is that he wants to be number one, but they've already said Leno's number one, but Arteta can't wait around for no one because Arteta, let's face it, last season it was a horrendous season. If you look at Villarreal and you look at the form before Christmas last year, and he's had a horrendous start this season. He can't wait on Leno, man.
Yeah,
Lads,
absolutely.
before we go, because Nate, I know you're a bit squeezed for time.
Cool.
If you do win this game, that will put you in 9th place. And
13 points, innit?
if you win on Friday and results go in your favor, you could find yourself back in the top 4 by the weekend. So I say that to ask you this question: what is your score prediction for tomorrow? I'll start with you, Nate.
3-1 Arsenal. Fuck it. At some point, with these goals, have got to start rolling, man. But I could, like Ken said, man, you take out the Tottenham game, 1-0 here, 1-0 there. The goals have got to start flowing. So I'm gonna go 3-1, man. Even if I don't fully believe that, fuck it, 3-1. Speak it into existence.
Yeah, Kenny.
You know what? I don't know which Arsenal I'm going to turn up. Last season we played Crystal Palace in January. Time like this, Monday night football, it was 0-0. I'm going to go for 1-1. I just think that I think that two things will happen. We're going to start really well, but we're going to fade, and start becoming conservative in our approach. And I think Crystal Palace will nick it. That's the thing about it. Teams like Crystal Palace, because they've got so much they have a very pace inside. Once you get teams like them once you've got the foot on the throat, you've got to squeeze it. Yeah. I don't think we're going to squeeze the throat when we get them on top like we did with Tottenham. But I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with a 2-2 because they seem to like 2-2s. They 2-2'd West Ham. They 2-2'd Leicester as well. Yeah. And I reckon it might be a 2-2 game tomorrow, and that's not going to downplay Arsenal's performance. I still think you're going to play very well, but I think Patrick Vieira has been a bit of a breath of fresh air for them. He's got the youngsters playing pretty well and with a good confidence as well.
Can you imagine it though? Man knows football that they had the board trying to do the same things that Patrick Vieira is doing, and he lost the first 4 games.
Oh, but the board, I think he had wasn't he the worst record ever as Premier League manager? He had horrific results, didn't he?
Yeah, but he thought he had his brother playing in that side, and he thought he had Ronald Koeman.
Was he coming straight from the Eredivisie?
Yeah.
No wonder they don't defend over there. When you're going to clubs, it's true.
The way you said it.
They don't defend over there, man. When is the last top centre back that you've seen come out of the Eredivisie? Really, they don't really churn them out like that. When we're talking, if we're talking wingers,
they'll tell you the
list. Stam. I know you guys don't agree with me, but the best defensive performance I've ever seen in the flesh was Yap Stam.
Yeah,
for us with Man United against Arsenal in 1999 when they beat us 2-1. That was the best. That's one of the best And I'm not just talking about defensive performance, but best performance from a footballer I've ever seen. Defensively,
that's the best Dutch defender I've seen in my lifetime.
Stam was solid.
Yeah, he was something else.
Only Sir Alex Ferguson knows why he sold him to Lazio.
Yeah,
because of what he said in his book or whatnot, innit?
Yeah, the geezer was a nutter.
Even Sir Alex knows that was a mistake to get rid of Stam.
Yeah, no, I think he said it in his book afterwards. It was a mistake, but nah, man, you can't go and say. I can't remember what it was he said, but yeah.
He said Man United tapped him up.
There's some shit. It was something like that. Ferguson's like, get out of here, mate. And I remember they got rid of him and then brought in, was it Laurent Blanc? We know how that went. So
he was. I was young then, but even I could understand. I was like, wasn't this guy old? Isn't he finished now? He's at his time.
Yeah,
it was solid, mate. Absolutely,
he was the master. Do you remember he went to Lazio, then he went to AC Milan. He was in that wasn't he in that AC Milan team that were 3-0 up against Liverpool, and they lost 3-3. He was playing that to them. I remember Crespo.
Was he?
I remember him at Lazio when he choked the player.
Yeah, he's Stam character, mate.
Yeah,
he's the man,
He was solid.
Van Dijk is not a patch on Yap Stam. I don't care.
Oh, mate, he couldn't lace his boots. Are you mad? No way.
I think Van Dijk's better on the ball, but Yap Stam, when it comes to defending, the best.
Just all that defending, innit? Yeah, he was a rock, man. He was a rock.
He was rapid as well. The guy was quick as shit. Yeah, for his size.
You wouldn't want it with him, man.
Yeah, trust me.
Do you remember that time when the game when Vieira and Keane were having their nonsense? He just got Vieira around the throat and said, "Nah, not my, you don't, not with me, mate."
Yeah, that day and age is gone now. But lads, listen, I'm gonna leave you to it. I know Nate, you've got a spin-off. Kenny Ken, we've got to have you more regular on the show. We're definitely
don't worry about it. You know where I am. You know what I mean? Obviously, you know what's happened. You know,
yeah.
Between you know, like it's going to be like a bit of a week, but you know, after next week, why not? You know, Dave, we all speak the same language. You know, the language is called football.
Absolutely,
like football.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Nate, obviously, we're gonna have to see a bit more of you. I'm gonna try and get the three of us together on camera since you're both Arsenal fans as well.
Definitely.
So I'm here, man.
We gonna do laugh at us if because we ain't won the Champions League. Is that what you want us on the camera?
Oh no, I don't know. I say
that
for Troops and Czar. You guys are all right.
Are you gonna do a tie? You don't
no. Troops and Czar, they can hold all of that. You guys are all right.
What tie? Why you get tie on?
Yeah, no, you should again.
Hey, Ken, if you can reach out to him, I'll be more than happy to get Ty on the show. I don't have a problem with it. So
you know what?
Reach out to him.
I'll speak to my brother, man. You know what? He actually lives around the corner from here.
Oh,
so I go knocking his ass.
Yeah,
Ty is a legend, man.
Yeah, he's a legend, man. Hey,
I love
Ty. Let me say something. I was at an Arsenal game. We were having a chat. Every minute, it was like, Ty, can I have a photograph? I said, you know what? I'll take the photo you want. I think he took my mate, man. It's like that all the time, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Ty's a legend, man.
If you could get him, if you could get him on, that would be cool. I
don't know, man. I think he's very expensive from that. He's mates with Jamie Carragher now. They got Jamie Carragher's, once you're friends with Jamie Carragher, there's no going back, you know.
Yeah, he's forgot about us regular people.
That's joke.
Exactly, man. Come on, Ty, man. You're still from Islington. Remember, you're still the guy that you used to go play centre with, man, when we were kids.
Hey, Ty, you heard. Listen, you're more than welcome to jump on Manno's Football anytime. But to everybody watching, thank you very much for joining in, and make sure you do give the lads a follow. Also, leave your comments down there. We're interested to know what you think. Going forward into this game tomorrow, what will be your prediction? Let us know down there in the comments. Smash the like button. Also share this with your friends. Help the channel grow. You get me? But
what time are they showing in America tomorrow? The match.
The match. What's it? 7:30 kickoff. Over there.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. So 3:00 p.m. Eastern time. Remember, I'm on the East Coast, so 3 o'clock over here.
Hey, you know what? When I'm in America, I've got to come and check you, man. I've got to see. I need to know. I want a reason why you left us in this nice cold weather, to go and live in this beautiful climate in America. I need to see for myself why you did it.
Yeah, man. Listen, you're more than welcome, man. You know where to find me, bro. New York City. I'm definitely gonna have to link up. Nate, I don't know why you're laughing. You still want me a trip over here? I know all things considered. Considered.
That's twice now, man. But yeah, no, I know. Yeah,
right, lads. But listen, I got to shoot off.
So
enjoy the rest of your evening, lads. And thanks
to the family, man.
Yeah.
Speak soon.
Will do, man.
Nate, see you tomorrow.